But coming right up, Asia's first football-themed cafe will soon be set up in Singapore. More on this in a short while. Partnerships with football stars can seem like an open goal to corporate giants seeking exposure. And in Asia, experts say these firms can gain instant credibility and brand awareness at home and abroad thanks to the many fans here.
But observers say sponsorship deals, even with top clubs, don't always translate into corporate success. This report by Brandon Tanotto.
Launched in March last year, Hotel Football is the joint venture between retired Manchester United legends Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs, with billionaire Peter Lim's investment company Rousley. The 133-bedroom hotel is located next to the Old Trafford and is a magnet for fans before and after matches. Speaking at a briefing today, Rousley says it plans to expand Hotel Football into China, India, Indonesia and Malaysia, saying that strong tailwinds from these markets will continue to drive demand.
Football is a big business. China has got huge plans. The President Xi Jinping is already talking about having football academies in schools to win the World Cup by 2050. So, all these assignments actually translates into opportunities for us. The Singapore market, we're talking about property prices pretty high. So we have to be a little bit careful, find the right product, find the right opportunity before we can actually create a hotel football brand here.
The property firm says it will also open a new cafe football here next year. The chain is part of the football-themed hospitality franchisees Rousley acquired from the Stars last year.
Natural progression. If you look at European clubs, the biggest fan base is actually in Asia. They have probably about 822 million Premier League fans. And if you look at Manchester City, for an example, 15% of their fan base actually comes from Asia as opposed to 3% in the UK. So the market size is here. You've got a really growing large middle income base.
Meanwhile, Court's collaboration with Liverpool Football Club has helped the retailer boost shopper traffic and revenue through in-store and shopping mall activities with the players.
It helps us keep the brand top of mind. It helps us to connect to our customers in a very real way, in a way that that is around the sport that's the most popular within Singapore and within the region. We've got a very wide customer base and they care about all of the major EPL propositions, so overall profitability was up by about 55%.
However, experts say these moves may not necessarily pave the way for more Singaporean firms to follow suit.
For the lack of market size and for the lack of a budget, I haven't seen too many Singapore companies come forward and do partnership. And if a brand decides to do an endorsement deal, which probably could go into the millions, and that could be actually their entire marketing budget for the year. So it doesn't really make good business sense.
But Courts says working with a smaller market could also be advantageous.
When you do have a small geography with a high density, it's so much easier to reach people. And easy to look at, return on investment.
Looking ahead, observers say there are still opportunities for Singaporean companies to form such partnerships, but warns that strategies must be present to reap the maximum benefits.